Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Berlin. Welcome back to the new series about me trying to skate. Today, I would like to talk with you about how to start skating, where to skate in Berlin, what did I learn from my first few experiences, what surprised me. So first, why to skate? Skating is a very good leg training, and this is something that I learned. It's very intense on the legs, on the glutes, but not so much on the core. There is some like lower back, but all the things that are like core upper body things are need to be trained separately if you want to do a full body training. And I would recommend you, if you are taking this as a sport, take a few days to do some core and upper body training also. One thing that I didn't like when I did like gym kind of sport was leg days, but this is a very good leg training. So if you a person that go to the gym and you don't like to do leg training, you can do skating on the day. And it also has a low impact, which is something that was very important for me. What do I mean by that? When you run, you have a lot of impact on your knees, on your back, and there are a lot of problems that can occur if you are running for a long time. So if you're a person who is worried about the health of your knees or your back, I would recommend skating. The problem with that, in my opinion, is that it's very difficult to skate correctly. So if you want to get everything out of your skating experience, you need to invest a lot of time and a lot of training in skating correctly, because if you skate incorrectly, you can actually make more damage to your body than running. And this is another thing that I learned. You need to invest so much time at the beginning on the core skills. This is something that I think it's a little bit missing also from all the videos that I have seen on YouTube, because they are made by people who are already master in skating. They maybe almost forgot how many hours they invested in just like doing the most basic things, like how to do the correct stride, how to find your center edge of your skates. This is difficult. I try to skate every day that I can when the weather is nice, because in my past life experiences, when I try to learn like a musical instrument or other technical skills, I found that it's very tempting to jump into the advanced skills, but you don't have the fundamental skills, so you are going to fail. It's like 100% guarantee that it's not going to be right, and maybe you even going to damage yourself, because skating is dangerous. So when I go to the parks here in Berlin and I skate, I see a lot of beginners and early intermediate people who try to skate backward, for example, or they try to jump, or they try to do like wizard skating kind of move, and they don't even know how to bend their knees. It's like people are jumping to skills that are dangerous, and they don't have the right distribution of weight on their skate because they don't know how to bend their knees correctly. So they fall when they try to like ride backward, and it's very, very dangerous. And usually those people also don't wear protective gears. Like there was one time not so long ago, I went to the park and there was a guy who was kind of fit, so he had a lot of energy. He could go like fast if he wanted to, and he wanted to. But he had like the worst strides I have ever seen, like pronating like crazy. Didn't know how to turn. So he tried to impress other skaters in the park, and I think there was like a woman in front of him, so he became like a complete idiot and tried to impress her and got really, really fast. And then there was a left turn. And if your strong side is your right side, you know that left turns are difficult. You need to invest many hours in learning how to turn to your weak side. And he was just crashing into the bushes, And I'm like, what a fucking idiot. Like, why would you do something like that? And then after that, he also saw me, and he saw that I'm a beginner and I'm very nerdy about my skating because I want to do it correctly, and he want to impress me. So he was doing like 180 kind of turn and started skating backward. And then he looked at me, and then he was like falling back. And falling back is something that shouldn't happen. if you're at a level where you know how to do 180 and start like rolling backward, falling back is something that shouldn't happen to you. In my opinion, falling back is like the worst thing. It's so dangerous. Another thing why you should consider skating is that it's a lot of fun. And actually I was surprised about that also, because like I knew it's going to be fun. I didn't know it's going to be so much fun. It's addictively fun. It's like I feel high after a session of skating. Yeah, I just feel like so much younger when I do that. I don't know how you live your life, but I find myself these days in front of my computer so many hours, if it's to do with work or other things. And post pandemic, there is some social issues in Berlin, in my opinion. It used to be a very welcoming city, a city with a lot of house parties and friend gatherings, concerts, cultural events. A lot of that died because of COVID, and people get more and more isolated. I think skating and going out to the park, doing something that is so much fun with other people, because there are other skaters in the park, so it's always nice to say hello to them and to smile. And it was something that was missing from my life so much, you know? And only for that, I would encourage you to start skating or find your own thing, your own excuse to go out to the park and to smile. Another thing that surprised me is that many people don't wear protective gear, and I go with a full set, and people look at me like I'm a weirdo. And this is something that I really don't like about this sport, is that there is some kind of stigma against people who are taking safety seriously. Yeah, like this guy I mentioned to you before that tried to impress people, he didn't wear anything, not even a helmet. And when he fell backward, I was panicking. I wanted to skate towards him to save him or something. And another thing about skating that surprised me was that it's not so cheap as a hobby, especially in today's economy. If you're a beginner, you shouldn't be attempted to buy cheap skates. I would talk more about my skates in another video. I'm going to give a full review of that, but I decided to go with the FR skates, FRX, and I already upgraded a few parts. And I think it was a good choice, but it wasn't cheap. If you go to Decathlon or another sport shop and you look at the range of skates, they have really cheap skates also, like 60 something euro. Don't buy those. If you're a beginner, you're bad. So you need a good skate. If you're bad and your skates are bad, it will be so much more difficult for you to learn the core skills that you are going to be so frustrated and maybe even give up after 2 weeks. And one thing about the skates that also surprised me is that the size of the skate is not the same as your shoe size. And there is no kind of standard. Like every company has like a different like chart. You can go online and like measure your foot with like centimeters, and then go on their special like table on the website and then find your size over there. First, you need a skate that is tight around your feet. So usually people go one size down. And you need to measure your foot. Like whatever you wear outside for walking, it's like you need to forget about that. But talking about gear and skates themselves, even though it's not the cheapest thing, it's not as expensive as other hobbies. Like, I don't know, playing guitar, and you want to buy like a really good guitar, it can be like thousands of euros. Or a piano, like try to buy a piano. Or a good computer also costs more than that. So if you think you can invest like 200 euro in your first skates, please do that. Don't be cheap on your first skates.
This is a sport where you go out and do your own thing. You set your own pace and limit.
Lifestyle? Oh man, look at me. What does lifestyle mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm into.
Okay, so like where to skate in Berlin? I mentioned that I go to the parks. Like which parks? I live in the neighborhood Kreuzberg, and around me there is a park called Gleisdreieck, which I really like to go to because it has some trails. There are things you can discover. The issue with that park is it's full of kids and dogs. Dog owners are not so nice here in the city. Like there was one time that I was training how to brake, and your heel brake does like this noise, and there was a dog that start barking on me and attacking me, and the dog owner was just laughing, and I'm like, dude, I could fall and hurt myself because of your fucking dog, and you just stand there and laugh. An obvious choice for many people is to go to Tempelhofer Feld, which is the abandoned airport here in Berlin, which is also not so far from me. I wouldn't recommend you to go there if you want to practice core skills. First, it's a huge place and it's very open, so the wind is really, really hard. So if you cannot control your skates yet, maybe you can fall just from the wind. Really, that can happen. The wind there is crazy. Second is that all the pro skaters in Berlin go there and they do all the tricks, and you would be tempted to maybe do something like that, or would be a little bit embarrassed to do your first steps. So only recently I started going to Tempelhofer Feld because I felt like, okay, I can skate in an like almost intermediate level. But when I want to practice core skills, usually I would go to a different park, like Gleisdreieck. A few days ago, I also tried to go to another park called Mauer Park. It's nice, actually. The issue with that park is that it's one of the busiest park in Berlin, and it's not so interesting. Gleisdreieck, in my opinion, is much more interesting. Like there are different like secret paths that you can discover, but in Mauer Park, it's only like the place itself. I don't know. It's not the nicest. If you have any ideas of parks in Berlin to skate at, please let me know because I'm always looking for new places. I tried to go to Tiergarten once. Bad ideas. Take it out of your mind. Tiergarten is one of my favorite parks in Berlin, but you cannot skate there. The ground is just awful. There is only like one part when there is asphalt, but there are a lot of cobblestones also, and it's full of people. Yeah, one thing that surprised me about skating in the parks and everything is that it forces me to discover the city from a new perspective. So every time I go out now, I'm much more cautious to the texture of the asphalt, you know? I never thought that would be the case, you know, that I would like look at the ground and try to analyze it. Is it rough? Is it smooth? Is it cobblestone? Is it asphalt? So expect that if you are planning to start skating, that you are going to look at the ground and analyze it all the time. I don't do any kind of like city skating. I'm really afraid to go on the street. YouTube is full of city skaters and I really like to watch their videos too. And I wish one day to get to that level, but not now, not now. Yeah, maybe the last thing that I can talk about that surprised me about skating is the learning curve. The learning curve I found kind of linear. I thought it would be maybe a little bit more challenging, but maybe also the fact that I'm so focused on the fundamentals, on the core skills, and I'm aware of the time that I need to invest in that, I feel like it's linear. There were like skills that I really wanted to do from day one, and only recently I accomplished them, but it feels really good. What am I trying to say? Yeah, I think like the progression to get from one skill to another skill to the next skill to the next skill, the amount of time that it taking me is mostly the same for each skill. So this is why I'm saying it's kind of linear. I thought it's going to be like, okay, I'm learning a few core skills, and then the next one is going to be like really hard. I'm going to invest like weeks in only in that skill. But for now, for the beginner skills, it's like, okay, one after another. And it's super rewarding. I'm a very nerdy type of guy. And also when I went to the gym, it was really, really important for me to do all the exercise correctly. So I'm very nerdy about my skating also. Like I want to do every stride like perfectly, you know? And now I'm really focusing on like finding the edge and be like super, super perfect on my center edge, you know, and I'm like, I want to be a good skater. I don't want to just go fast. I want to go fast correctly. I want it to be a good fitness exercise for me. Yeah, so I encourage you also to be very nerdy about this sport. Watch a lot of videos on YouTube. Take courses if you're a complete beginner. I think the next video I'm going to have a review on a course that I'm taking. So stay tuned for that and enjoy skating. See you in the next one. Bye bye.